The government should stay out of many services. Do you agree? I know the government, is involved in way too many things. So again, I'll say that again. The government should stay out of many businesses. My example will be car insurance. In our country, I know it's this case in many places. You can live in one province and your car insurance is controlled by the province. You have no choices. You have no competition. You pay that fee whether you like it or not. And, that's complete BS. So for an example, I'm not picking on our sister province, but in the province of BC, or even the province beside us on the other side, Saskatchewan, your auto insurance, you have no choice but to get it from provincial carrier. That's it. You got no options. You got no competition. There's no, not having competition means you're paying a specific price. And the reason I talk about this is I have clients that want to retire from Alberta into British Columbia. Same area where I want to retire, in the Okanagan Valley. But if you want to retire to BC, when I sit with clients and I goal set with them and they tell me where they want to retire, I have to accommodate and adjust for pricing for a few different things. If you want to live in a province like British Columbia, I have to adjust for the fact that you're going to be paying higher auto insurance, you're going to be paying higher utilities, you're going to be paying higher taxes on a personal basis. Well, why is that? Well, in Alberta, we have competition for auto insurance. Number of companies were like more than they're on both my hands. So like for fingers, there's tons of options. So that competition causes prices to be fair for the consumers because it's not a monopoly. And that's exactly what, when governments are involved in business, they make it a monopoly. We used to have that in our province regarding utilities, and that was gotten rid of, I'm just guessing, let's say 25 years ago. And the monopoly on utilities such as power, water, natural gas, that was all gotten rid of, and it opened up, an environment for competition and no monopolies by a specific one company, which was usually either provincially or maybe it was a municipality, a city controlled. So when competition came in, we seen our rates go down, right? Is that a good thing? Absolutely. Competition is the way life should be. Monopoly on something that's essential like power, water, natural gas shouldn't happen. Auto insurance should not be a monopoly on it. It should not be controlled by a government where they set out pricing. There's no competition. They don't allow competition. It's that way in some of our provinces in regards to even getting a cell phone. You have to deal with the provincial teleco, and there's no competition for the cell phone industry either, which is completely ridiculous. So back to the fact of that person that wants to, let's say, not even retire, just move to BC, depending on where they live in British Columbia, from interior to the west coast, you need roughly about 30% gross more income in order to be there. Retired, living, whatever the case may be. I've had many families that have moved out to the west coast, moved back to Alberta because it's more costly to live there. Healthcare is more expensive in regards to certain, things outside of your government covered, benefits. You're going to be paying more. You're going to be paying more again for auto insurance. You're going to be paying more for taxes because in the province of British Columbia, you have provincial sales tax and you have a federal sales tax called GST. In Alberta, we only have GST. So there's a disparity between the two provinces for many things, and it all boils back to and leads back to the government, right? The government, again, is supposed to be for the people, but when you stop competition and you make it so that your product is the only product a person can buy, and then your rates are higher than in a province where there's competition, there's a problem. So again, I'm not picking on British Columbia because that's where I want to retire, but I also know that you have to be better prepared. And if that's where you want to go, if that's where you want to retire, or you just, let's say you're not even retiring, you just want to move there, then you better be aware that you're going to have to pay more money to live there. Whether you're young and still working and you're decades away from retirement, or you're like me and you're, maybe a couple decades away from retirement, you need to factor in the fact that things are government controlled in certain places where you want to go, and it's going to cost you more. And you need to factor that into your retirement. You need to have that in your goals, and say to whoever that's helping you with your planning for your future retirement, or even your future current life. Let's say again you're just a young family, decide to move into another place, whether it's a state or a province. You need to know what the costs are to living there. It's very important to understand, because all of a sudden your standard of living could go up or it could go down, right? So somebody that's used to paying a higher tax rate, paying higher auto insurance, moving to Alberta, is going to all of a sudden have more money in their pocket to spend and to live, right? So those are things you have to take into account. I'm not saying that it's better to live here than it is to live in BC. When it comes to a standard of living, it certainly can be. But, when it comes to a beautiful place to live, great people, just an amazing environment, love British Columbia, right? Absolutely love it. And that's why someday I want to retire in what they call the Okanagan Valley, but I have to factor in the fact that it's going to cost me more money to live there because of non-competition on certain factors of things that I'm going to have to pay for to live life still. So I hope this makes sense. Hope it wasn't too confusing. Drop me a comment below. Give me a heart, give me a like, whichever platform you're watching this on. I appreciate your support. If you have any questions, again, DM me, drop me a comment. Why do I talk about all this stuff? Because I give a heck, and I just want to make sure that people plan and are proactive and not live a reactive life the rest of their lives, no matter what stage you're at, whether it's the young family or a single individual or a person or a couple that's about to retire. Make sure you plan, make sure you have good knowledge, and you're working with the right people to ensure that you're, again, being proactive and have everything in place for success. I appreciate you all. I look forward to talking to you tomorrow. God bless. Peace out.